I am going to be smart, and I'm just going to give away my microphone. Here you go. You're in charge.
I love it when the ladies are in charge.
Everyone on stage except for me gets a microphone.
Hi guys. Hello. Happy Sunday.
Yes.
Happy Sunday. All right. Blue hair. What?
Okay, if you have questions, put your hand up. I've got a quick question. What do you think of New Zealand?
For me, it's just like home.
Yeah.
Except with funny accents.
I don't think I want to.
That was for all three of you?
What do you think of New Zealand laws?
I really love it. I like the people. No, it's beautiful. You all know that, right? How gorgeous your country is. I'm from California, so I tell people, go to Northern California. It's really beautiful, and it is. But your whole country's like that. And I've dreamed about coming here. I told her Iceland and New Zealand were sort of the two places I always wanted to go. I was fortunate to work in Iceland on a little movie called Hostel 2. And then now I finally got to come here years and years later, so I love it, and the people and the landscape are gorgeous. But I've just started, and are you doing a little of the sightseeing? Okay, me too. So we'll be doing it together, and I can't wait. It's more been this so far, so we get to go see this week, and I look forward to it.
I lived here for 12 years in Auckland. Been there, done that. No, but there's still a lot of New Zealand I haven't seen, but I have been fortunate enough, obviously, to have travelled a lot more. But it's nice. I haven't been back for about 8 years, so it's so nice to... I hadn't climbed the mount, I think, gosh, in like 10 years, and we did that. Lauren loved every minute of every step.
I was dying on that night. Her and her husband were skipping up the hill, and I sounded like an obese 90-year-old chain smoker. I could not breathe. Oh, yeah, but it was beautiful.
Oh my God, there's a baby! I've got a baby. I have a 10-month-old, yeah. And I miss him so much. He's up north at the moment.
Hi, my question's for Katie. Hi. So I love Lena and Sam's relationship. So I was wondering how it was like working with Odette.
I love Odette, like with every part of my soul. And it's very sad that she is not right next to me right now. I think we were very like, I don't think they really planned on the chemistry between the two of us, and so what you see on the screen is created of many nights of tequila and much Mexican food and much pain and sorrow the next morning after too much tequila and food. So I love her very much, and I am very glad that Supergirl sort of brought us together, because otherwise I would never have gotten to know her. She's my little squid. My little squid, her and Jeremy. You're welcome, babe. No, Jeremy's an ugly guy in the show.
Oh.
Is Jeremy her son?
Sometimes. She's a really cute kid on Instagram.
Oh, Charlie.
Is that okay?
She's adorable.
What?
She looks like Boo from Monsters, Inc.
So
it kills
cute,
me. It kills me. Sorry. Hi, we digress.
So I've got a question, like two separate questions. So for Katie, will Supercorp, Kara and
I don't know what you're talking about.
So how do you think the relationship between the two will be repaired in the series? And you two, where were you last night? At the cocktail party?
I was Skyping with my son and had a migraine. Where were we at the cocktail party?
We were waiting for shots,
We were waiting for shots.
Jet lag. The wall of jet lag happened. And I think that with regards to the relationship between Supergirl and Lena being repaired, I'm not sure. I'm not sure how. And Cara and Lena are still going strong, so we're all good. But I think it's going to be a very dramatic road that's got to be travelled. You know, season 4 has another 22 episodes in which they can play it all out. So, you know, whatever happens is going to be dynamic viewing. And don't worry, I'm sure it will satisfy all people who watch.
Just to play off that real quick, do you think it's going to be something like Supergirl saves Lena's life and...
Lena saves Supergirl's life.
Again. It's, I don't know if you're familiar with the Arrow meme. This doesn't change anything, Hoss.
I'm not. Sorry. Are you guys familiar with that? Oh God, we suck. We have our own memes. Way better memes.
I have a question for Katie.
Hi, love. Hi, sorry.
Hi. I was just wondering if you were shooting any projects during the hiatus, or if you were taking a break.
I'm hoping to get sleep during this hiatus. We didn't wrap that long ago, and I think I only had about 10 days before I came here. So it works out that I only think after coming back from here and doing a few more things, I had about 3 weeks off. So yeah, sleeping high on the agenda. I'm going back to Ireland, seeing my mom, seeing the dog.
And do you all shoot 10 months like Lucifer did?
Yeah.
We would shoot 10.
Yeah, it's trying to find anything that fits in that after you sort of regain your own personality and consciousness is difficult.
Hi. Katie, we asked you yesterday if you tried pineapple mums.
Oh my God, you got sweets! Oh, the way to my heart is sugar. Thank you.
I tried one of those for the first time yesterday. She gave me one, and do you remember? I was like, so good.
We can share, don't worry. You can have one. Thank you very much, Tony. That's a good question, or was it just to give me presents? Because I'm cool with that.
I wanted to give you presents. But also, obviously, we're all here because we're massive fans of your fandom. What fandoms are you guys in, and what do you fangirl over?
Yeah.
I actually quite like Gotham. You know, as a TV show, I was really privileged to play I did a guest role on one of the episodes, so I got to meet, you know, the team, and this is season 1. I like it because it's really dark, and, you know, the characters get to kind of be crazy. Maybe like a little crazier than we get to do on our show. But I like that world, yeah. In fact, I think if Lucifer ever had the opportunity to do a crossover with another show, I'd probably like it to be Gotham. Yeah.
That would be fantastic.
I'm obsessed with a show called First 48. I don't know if any of you know that show. It's a reality show based on the police department and solving murders in the first 48 hours of a case. And the Marsha Clark version, if anyone knows, Marsha Clark came in, who obviously prosecuted OJ back in the day when that all went down. And she has her own 8-episode arc with the franchise First 48. But then, you know, Game of Thrones, Handmaid's Tale, Mindhunters. If any of you saw Mindhunters, did you? Cool. Yeah, I would say that sort of thing is pretty great.
I have a major fangirl crush on Nathan Fillion, so yeah, still, even now, I don't think I will ever grow out of that one, so Firefly.
Have you got to meet him?
No, and I don't think I ever could. So I think it's better that that's far away from me, because I'm not quite sure what I would do.
Should have come to Armageddon Auckland last year.
No, I'm really glad I didn't, guys, seriously. And also, when I want to relax, I know this sounds really weird, and you might get this, I find something very relaxing on true crime programs.
Yes.
Just the True Crime Network. Just on in the background.
Discovery.
Yeah. Why? I know this sounds really bizarre, but murder is so calming. I don't know what that says about me as a person.
I watched that. My husband binge watched that when I was pregnant, like just 9 months about to have the baby. I'm like, oh, who did it?
Swear to God, it's going on in the background, and like the production value is like nothing, but you're in it. You're like, absolutely, it's unreal.
I think there's something about your brain, just your brain is going, okay, you're doing all the details, trying to figure out the crime, but it's sort of relaxing. It's like
bizarre.
Gives you no time to worry about your own shit.
Also, okay, well, now I'm not embarrassed at all. Apparently it's called murder porn. I didn't know that, but Damien does, and I think that says more about Damien than it does about us. Sure you did.
So that's what he said. The accent through, he was like mad at me.
Murder porn? So apparently I find murder porn really relaxing. And now there's your meme.
Hi. Hello. I guess as superhero worlds are often dominated by males in the past, how do you find it as being women and being represented in DC?
I think it's pretty awesome. I mean, one of the things that I loved about my character was actually getting to know her through the comic books, and I will admit I didn't make it through all of the graphic novels because they're about that thick, and it was the first comic book I'd actually ever read myself. That being said, what was really cool about Mazikeen from that world was it was really progressive for the time when the comic book came out. I think it was around in the 90s, and she was bisexual, and there was this really amazing image. It's my favorite Maze image from the comic books, where she's kissing her girlfriend and there's a crowd standing all around her and she's giving them all the middle finger. I was like, yeah, I'm so excited I get to play her. And even though I'm not 100% that version, I really do try and bring a lot of that Maze into our vision. But I think it's cool. I think you're right. The comic book world is so dominated by men. But if we look at Wonder Woman and Black Panther, like some of the highlights, of this year with those two films, the women stood out and kicked ass. Yeah. So.
But I feel like women in TV led the way for that and opened that up.
Yeah.
Because we've, especially in the DC world and DC TV, have been pushing that longer than the movies have.
Yes.
And I think you start to open the door by scratching on it, and then you've got Wonder Woman and Black Panther who've come and burst it wide open. But I like to think that we started it.
Yeah. Round of applause for women, guys. Come on.
Hi, guys.
Hi.
So, this is a question for all of you. I just wanted to know what drew you to the roles you have. So, like Lena, Chloe, and Maze, what drew you to audition for it and pursue it? Besides money.
I know the answer to this. So when I had just got off Chicago Fire and I was reading things, and the first scene in the pilot of Lucifer is Chloe walks down a hallway and someone makes a joke about, because Chloe tried to be an actress at some point. Her mom was a famous actress and she kind of wanted to do that, and then figured out pretty quickly that she was really bad at it, and she showed her boobs and something and was embarrassed and got made fun of. But some guy makes a comment, and the first thing she does is grab him by the balls and shove him against a wall and twist his balls, get in his face, and be like, "Don't ever talk to me that way again." And then she wakes up from a dream. Because that's what she wants to do, but doesn't have the courage, and all the guys at the precinct are like, "Oh, she showed her boobs in a movie, but now she's a cop." I remember reading that, and even though it didn't make the pilot, which is so sad, I remember being really drawn to that. How it was written when I first read it was probably just a really strong single mom badass, just trying to do a good job. And I don't see there's nothing more admirable than someone, even if they're not great, just trying to do their best. And I really liked kind of that. She wasn't cool, she wasn't that sharp or popped off the page. She was just trying her hardest and kind of honest. And I really liked that.
For me, it was the graphic novels and just the idea of playing the devil's best friend. What would that look like? What would that feel like as an actress? And I mean, I remember my audition, I did go in head to toe in leather.
You did?
I did. I went for it. I had like leather top, leather pants. I had like, I showed up in my hoodie and my sneakers, but I was like, I want to embrace what this character might feel like, you know. So it was really her and some of the stuff I mentioned before, which was that she was bisexual and you know, and strong and the leader of the Lillian army, and her mother was Lilith, like the mother of all demons, and her father is like a snake demon. I'm like, whoa, mommy issues, you know. So it was really that, yeah. And I will say too, Tom Kapanos, like the writing of the pilot was really interesting. It really did draw you, yeah.
We lost, obviously. He wrote the pilot and that's it. So sort of weird for us to read that. But, you know, yeah. All good. All good. Clearly, since we're still on the air. Oh, too soon? Is that too soon?
Welcome to Lucifer King. I have to say, actually, I read the Lucifer pilot and I auditioned, I think, for both your roles. Obviously, I sucked.
No, you did not. And what's funny, I read Supergirl and I auditioned and I did shit. Like, get out of here, Sherman. You suck.
They pick the people that are right for the roles. But when you talk about the two roles, it's everything that I thought about when I read both of them. They were such great women and they were so admirable. And it's the same reason when I read Lena. It's what I am drawn to the women I wish I was. You know, I'm not her. She's all the best parts of me that I want to be. She's confident, she's together, she's smart, she's capable, she's strong, she's passionate. I'm a mess. And so I tend to be driven and drawn to women on the page who are aspirational for me. And that's what these three characters I've always thought, you know, because I would have happily played either of them. Not probably as well, though.
This is for you, Kate.
Hello, Joseph.
If you could go to any one of the other DC shows, air literary schools, which one would you go to and why?
Lucifer. I quite like, I don't know how they do it, but I'd always quite like to be on the crossover. I always feel left out that I'm not in it. But I don't see how they're going to do it because apparently I don't know the car as Supergirl. So I don't quite know how they managed to put me in the crossover. But they're always exhausted by it. They're like, we're shooting 4 episodes in the space it takes to shoot 1. I don't even know how they manage their zombies by the end of it.
We used to film right next to Legions of Tomorrow. And like, it was all night shoots. And like the longest hours.
You see, I always lots of night shoots. We at least don't do that many night shoots, but we are like dead by the end of 10 months.
Yeah, and you'd see like some dude in a costume walking down to craft services and be like,
with like a styrofoam cup, praying that there was an answer at the bottom of it. Yeah. But I think I would, to answer your question, I'd quite like to be on the crossovers. I just don't know how they manage it. And then I see it at the end of it and went, no, I'm good.
Do you want me to move over?
Hello. Question for Katie. So recently, in one of the recent episodes, there was some amusing stick action between between Alex and Lena.
Yes.
I'm wondering, was that improvised? Do you often improvise yourself?
Somebody asked me this yesterday, and I was like, do you want the answer you want, or do you want the truth?
The truth.
The truth was that was in the script.
It was?
But that scene was a mess to film because it was inside and there was a lot of smoke and obviously stunts and stuff going on. So we ended up just amusing ourselves all day. And so all of the chemistry that you see and all of that came from us just having one of, you know, those giddy days you have where you're exhausted and you just get really, really silly? Everything from that is us being like completely dead and like children. So that's why it seems like it's improvised, but it actually is in the script. I should just say it's improvised. We're really smart.
In terms of Alex and Lena, is there going to be more like, how do I say?
Love affair?
That's not what I was going to say, but sure. I was just going to say because they're both obviously very protective of Rain. They have Ruby that they're both, really, they want to sort of look
Best
after.
interest in heart.
Yep, so is there going to be more of a bond developed between them? Are you guys going to have more scenes together?
You're going to have to watch. I'm sorry, babe. I can't. It's more than my life. It's more than my life is worth to give it away. I'm just going to have to watch.
Hello. Up here. Hi. Two-part question. One, what are all your guys' favourite heroes? Or villains, up to you.
In the DC world or just generally?
In general.
Oh, villains or heroes? That's a broad question. My favorite hero? Han Solo, hands down.
Have you seen the new movie?
I don't ever want to do that. I'm sorry, Han Solo is Harrison Ford for me. I'm a child of the 80s, so I'm going to keep with original OG for me as well. It's like there's no Indiana 4.
No.
Originals, guys. Don't.
Do you mean in the film, television realm?
Anything?
Anything at all?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna go honest, but everyone's
Yes,
gonna think
please.
it's cheesy. So my father,
Oh, wow.
Dr. Richard German, and some people call him Dick. My father's a vascular surgeon, and he's probably saved, I don't know, a few thousand lives or something. He's now 76. I have an older father, but he practiced for years, and he also happens to be one of the funniest, most humble, filthy humored nerds. My dad is the guy kind of really trying to be funny, and he is kind of funny, but you're such a nerd. Just go get your math book. You're such a dork. And I love my dad. He's the coolest guy, and so I'd have to say he's my hero because he's done so many cool things, and he's just kind of like a silly dork at the same time. I know. Hi, Dad. Jeez, how do I follow that? That was a much better answer than mine. No, but her dad is pretty amazing. They came to my baby shower, and he was so sweet. Oh, and I can also say, my dad, the best. This always makes me laugh. If anyone asks my dad, what's your favorite part about Lucifer? Maze. And he'll call me, Lauren, I do like the why is there not more Maze by now? You kept saying after season 1 we'd have more Maze, and it's just the case of the week, and I'm eating my Maze. I'm like, Dad, he's obsessed with Maze. It's all he wants to see, and I love it. It's really cute.
Well, it's interesting you say your dad. Yes, I would probably say also a family member, but no longer with me, is my grandfather. I have his signature tattooed on my wrist. He actually passed away in New Zealand probably the year before I moved to Los Angeles. He was awesome. I mean, you guys know what grandparents are like and what that relationship is, and I was really fortunate that we were able to bring him over from South Africa with my grandma when we immigrated. So he was just really proud when I started acting. I remember him just being a really huge fan, like my best friend growing up. Built me a treehouse in Cape Town. I had wild chameleons as pets and tree snakes, and we would just hang out. And he would do stuff I don't know why I believed him, but he would say, if you run around that pole fast enough, you'd run into your own butt. And I would try. I'd be 4 years old, trying. Yeah.
That's such a good way to keep a kid busy.
Yeah, and he would just sit there with this cup of tea and be like, keep going.
This question is for Katie and Lauren. So your characters either... Where are you? I'm sorry. I'm blind. Oh, right here. Hi. So Lena is going to find out at some stage, and also Chloe now realizes that Lucifer is who he's always said he is. So how do you two want your characters to develop that? How is that going to happen for you guys? What do you want to happen? Sorry.
Guys, I really don't want Lena to find out that Kara's Supergirl. I know this is ruining it for you all, but you've got to have somebody who believes in Kara. And it doesn't, do you know what I mean? She's got to have that innocence. It's got to be somebody that Kara can be vulnerable with. She has to be human with her rather than Supergirl. And I think the whole cornerstone of the show is that she has an alter ego, and if nobody believes the alter ego, then she doesn't have it anymore. So I'm going to say this till I die. Really, I believe that Lena should never know. You're so disappointed in my answer. I can see in your face.
It's beautiful. Their friendship is beautiful because Kara goes to Lena when she needs to be Kara.
Exactly. And if you take that away, she doesn't have that anymore. So, you know, let her. I'm her one friend. Don't take that away. Why do you want Kara to be friendless?
That's fun. Her answer reminds me of when people go, when are Lucifer and Chloe going to be together? When are they going to get married? When are they going to go? When are they going to date? And it's like, okay, Lucifer has every girl or guy he wants. He has so many lovers, and you know, Chloe's the one person that is resistant to his charms. Like, let her have that, you know, let her. And also, if they date, I don't really think we have a show. I mean, we don't really have a show anymore. Too soon? Too soon? No. Sorry. I'm just saying. So, but to answer your question, I would have been so interested to see season 4 how Chloe dealt with knowing that he really is the devil. I mean, yeah, but you know, specifically with Chloe, I think it would be, you know, as an actor in my mind, I'd have to make an equivalent of when you have a friend, an undeniable connection, love in your life, and there's something that before you thought was horrible, but they're doing it, or they are it. You know, you can take that metaphor in so many ways, like prejudices against someone being gay maybe, or someone being of this color or that color, but now you love this person and they're in your life, they're not going anywhere. So for Chloe, I think she would have really just still embraced him and loved him and found a way to be supportive and close to him. And I think the chemistry wouldn't have gone anywhere. If anything, it would have gotten stronger, and we could have gone further into this otherworldly potential that Lucifer could have, now being free in that way in front of Chloe. I don't think they would have, the sensuality or the sexuality necessarily would have gone more, but I think we could have opened up so many more doors with him being okay with, you know, popping his horns, or popping his horns. No, popping his horns. You can pop a horn. You know, I pop a horn every once in a while. What am I talking about? Did you pop your horn? Put your horn away. No, but I mean, I think we could have had a whole other layer of trust, and it could have been really quick. It could have been really cool. Too soon? No. Yeah.
Hi, Lucia, don't care. I have a quick question for the three of you, because there has been a bit of a DC curse with the movies. How did you find, when your projects that you've been a part of, like Gotham and Lucifer and Supergirl, of course, when they started to get really big and everyone started to follow it more often, it's just started getting bigger and bigger and bigger. How did you react to that?
Never really. I mean, I knew there was a rivalry with Marvel and DC. Until I was on the show, I kind of didn't really know how deep that rivalry ran. That being said, I think, and to DC's credit, they always did really well with television shows. Especially, I think, when Gotham started like a few years ago, you know, like that darker, edgier kind of television show in the superhero world was pretty cool. That being said, though, Marvel's been pretty great with, what was that show on Netflix? The Jones. There's Jessica Jones, there's Daredevil. Like, that was really cool, and especially the cinematography in Daredevil, which is really cool. Like some of the fight scenes. I mean, I'm such a fight scene nerd. Like one shot, you know. I was like, oh man, I wish we could do that on Lucifer, but we only have 40 minutes and we have TV commercials, you know. but I think it's pretty cool. DC is doing. I think we'll be doing really well in film now with Wonder Woman. You know, that's really ticked it up a notch there. But I don't know. What about you guys?
You're looking at me right now.
I know it's not really a world.
I think we can all admit that DC TV has figured out a formula and is doing it really, really well.
Yeah.
You know, they know what they're doing, they know their audience, they know what their audience wants, and they know what their strengths are. And that's not to say that Marvel doesn't, but I think these are two extremely intelligent, very powerful companies that know how to give the audience what they want. And I think they're doing it in spades, and they're creating an entirely new genre that 10 years ago, you know, you wouldn't have seen. I mean, I just walked by the poster for Marvel of 10 years. It's been 10 years, and how many movies have they spawned? And how many DC TV shows are there on TV? I mean, this 10 years ago, you would never have thought of it. And they've created so many amazing characters, and I think DC especially is responsible for creating so many amazing female characters that you didn't see 10 years ago on TV. Like real, strong, flawed women that are, like you say, just trying to make it work. And I think that's something to be very proud of.
I think too what DC's done really well is in the television world was, you know, obviously we have the tights and cape like superheroes, right? But that's rooted in real human relationships, friendships, love interests, struggles. I can speak to my own, you know, relationship with a character in our show, Linda, played by Rachel Harris, and that was something completely unexpected, and was never necessarily an idea that maybe started for my character when the show started, but because you guys responded so well, and I think that's what DC does really well. It's like it knows its audience. You guys are responding to storyline, and they're writing for it.
Yeah, I think DC are particularly good
Yeah.
at viewing what the fans want, and then, especially DC TV, and then seeding it back through for the audience. Except when they cancelled Lucifer.
That's not what you wanted.
Do you see?
No. I'm so very nervous. First of all, I'm slightly regretting that you guys take control of the stage. Just let's say, in any kind of world, we decide we're going to reboot Charlie's Angels, and we cast the three of you. First of all, yeah, can you give us the Charlie's Angels pose? But secondly, can you describe to us what angel you would be?
I'm the clumsy angel. The clumsy angel that can't dance, but that's mouthy. Isn't that the Drew Barrymore one?
I'd be the Lucy Liu character.
One?
I'd be the Lucy Liu character. The
badass.
The
elegant
tomboy.
badass.
Yeah.
I want to be. Oh, is it Charlie? I want to be the speaker. That's Charlie. Sorry, guys, I'm Charlie. I'm the little speaker that all the angels talk to. Hey, ladies.
You can be the other
Here's your
one.
agenda for today.
Thanks, Charlie.
Well, it's a reboot, you know.
Yeah.
Pose.
I have a question for Lauren.
Where are we? Up there.
Never.
What's it like working with
And the glitter. The sparkly top.
Right. Oh.
What's
I
it
didn't
like-
wear my glasses today, literally.
What's it like working with Lucifer and his crazy, dirty-minded jokes?
What's it like working with Lucifer and his crazy, dirty-minded jokes?
Oh, honey, no one holds a candle to me on set with any dirty joke. Anyone can tell you. I mean, I am a filthy, perverted truck driver.
She showed up to set with camel toe underwear that she bought off Amazon.
Yes. Did you all hear that story? I'll nutshell it for you. So one day on set, people were like, "Did you know there's camel toe underwear?" We looked them up on Amazon. My makeup artist ordered them for me, and this is during the whole sex scandal in LA. Like, everyone was terrified to make a dirty joke on set. People were getting fired, and I just said nothing. And we have this giant precinct with 300 extras, and I wore them over my sweatpants and my hoodie in the morning. But it was just underwear that looked anatomically correct for a female. And I walked in, and we blocked the scene, and I just didn't address it. Well, the next day I got called into the principal's office on the Warner Brothers lot. Our showrunner said, "Lauren, could we speak with you?" And I went in, they tried to keep a straight face, and they just said, "Look, just because of the climate right now, we need to ask you to not wear vagina camel toe underwear to rehearsals. If you could just do that, that would be great." But yeah, no, I'm always the one making the jokes and being the dirtiest. But I will say Tom is razor sharp, hysterically funny. It makes me cry laughing, and on top of that, he's one of the most charming, kind, lovely human beings I've ever met in my life. I love you, Tom.
If you could have like a half-hour, hour-long conversation with someone, living or dead, fictional or real, who would you want to have it with, and what would you talk about?
I always feel like we should prep answers for questions like these. And every time they're asked, I'm like, that's a great question.
Yeah, I want a couple weeks to think about that, and then I'll write like a 6-page essay.
Yeah. And come up with a really smart, articulate answer. Because right now I feel like whatever I'm going to say is going to be a fail.
I'd say I know Nelson Mandela. Like, I'm kind of gutted being a South African that I never got to meet him, and so many people did. Probably him. Exactly. Yeah. We talk about everything. Rugby, politics.
I'd want to meet with some philosophers. I'm obsessed with Billie Holiday, obsessed with classical music. I don't know. Van Gogh would be pretty trippy. Guys, when Meryl Streep played the horribly singing opera singer,
Florence Foster Jenkins.
Amazing. You want to meet her? That was like a weird game of charades there.
I'm honestly drawing a blank.
It's okay. You're allowed
I'm gonna think about this, and then before the end of this, I'm gonna give you an answer. Because right now, all I have in my head is that's what's happening. A little teddy bear in a car.
Yeah, a little jet lag.
Yeah. That's kind of what's happening.
Anyone else?
Hi, again. Hello.
Oh, hi.
I've seen, this is a question for all three of you, but I have seen some behind-the-scenes stuff of Katie. Nothing bad.
What was I doing?
Just like behind the scenes. Sorry, accent. Like jumping around before the cameras start rolling, and I was just wondering if you have like any quirky stuff you do before the cameras start rolling to kind of get yourself into the scene.
That jumping around before the camera starts rolling is usually the director going, "Katie, you've been running. Make an effort. Don't just, you're out of breath." And I'm like, "Oh God, guys!" And I've been sitting and curled up in a corner, and they're like, "Can you just do
Or it's
something?"
Friday on month 9, and they're like, "Can you just the energy just?"
No.
And you jump.
And that's what that comes from. I mean, it's enforced. It's not.
Do you have any like stuff that you do, like rituals or anything before you go on set or before the cameras start rolling?
My favorite is always when the guys start doing push-ups. And I'm just like, dude. No.
Well, you heard about what would have been my pre-take tradition, but the camel toe underwear got shut down. Other than that, I like to do a little Anchorman. Like Ron Burgundy has these sayings. He's like, the flaming torch has been denied a bank loan. The arsonist had oddly shaped feet. And it warms up your mouth.
I love that movie.
I
would like to meet Ron Burgundy.
Crowd.
I would like to meet Ron Burgundy. There you go. I would like to have a cup of tea with Ron Burgundy. Be genius. I'm in a glass cage of emotion. Baxter, I didn't know you could speak Spanish. Sorry, I love that movie. When he plays jazz flute, kills me every time. Sorry.
I do like a, I'll let a sound out. Like Chicago, ha! And there's actually, I think in some of our blooper reels, there's a whole compilation of all of us doing it at some point. Is that on YouTube? Somewhere, probably. Google it. You'll find it.
Unfortunately, everything is probably now on YouTube.
Yeah.
Or fortunately.
Hello, this one's for Lesley and Lauren. On Lucifer, did you get much hate for the whole devil idea of the film? And if so, how did you deal with it?
Did people have issues with Lucifer and like issues that they show devil face?
Like,
No, just that it's about
did you get any hate?
Yeah, I think so. I think early on we had 3 million women. What was it called? 3 million moms.
The million moms.
We had a petition signed by 3 million American moms trying to shut down our show before it got going. Now, I will say Tom was raised in a very religious family in the UK. Yes, his father's a minister and his sister is a pastor, I believe. And he goes, look, I'm just representing a part of this story that we happen to believe in. And actually in our show, Lucifer takes down the bad guys, like Batman, like Superman, like whoever. You know, Lucifer is not punishing good people. He's finding very evil people and bringing them to justice. So it makes me laugh when people go like, I'm religious, I don't like the devil. But it's like, look how we're showing the devil. I'm not personally religious, so I just always just try to do my job and not worry about it. I mean, I can't control other people, and learning that in my own life has been enough of a task than a show that I don't even write for.
I think what's cool about our show was we showed the kind of best parts of humanity in a way too, through your character. You know, Chloe Decker. She was really the heart of the show and kind of, I think, some of the bigger ideas of our show in our very quirky world was, is it really a very handsome man in a suit who owns a bar making you do these terrible, awful things you do in your life, or are you simply given a choice and you choose badly? And whose fault is that? And his or yours?
Speaking of, look, it's Tom Ellis up there at the top.
That's Hellboy.
I'm sorry, sir. I thought you were Satan. I thought you were Satan.
That's my husband when he doesn't put SPF on. That literally is what he looked like one time.
Honey, I'm so sorry. I'm blind. It's not your outfit. It's me. It's not you. It's me. I'm breaking up with you. You've been an amazing lover, but I'm done. You're too red. I'm feeling this. I'm feeling that guy. Look, he popped a horn.
My question's for Lauren.
I'm so old.
It's the
Did you
lid
see
they
the
were
panic? Every
supposed
question.
to give us yesterday.
And then she
And I had to hide it in my pocket.
What was it
I've
like
still got it.
filming in Chicago on location to, going and doing Lucifer? Like, was it hard to move back and, go back into filming?
Do you mean how was the transition from Chicago to LA, or just how was my experience in Chicago?
Yeah, like both.
Oh, really? All of the above. Okay, so Chicago, what's funny is I feel really lucky. I went from Chicago Fire to Lucifer, and I have to say, the cast and crew on those, because I have been on other shows, and they're fine, but we just had the best group of a family on both. So that was great. But the weather in Chicago, I don't know if you've ever been. Have you? And I'm from Southern California. I'm from a tiny Navy town called Seal Beach. And so Chicago was really... that cracks me up every time. It was freezing, but everyone was lovely. And the food was great. And it's a fun town. And there's lots of jazz. And I like that. And then the transition was fine because I'm a California girl. So going back home it was great. It's just like I'm going back home. And then I was lucky enough to go to another set with amazing people. And we thought the show was going to shoot in LA, and then they moved it to Vancouver. Vancouver has similar weather to here, right? Which I'm hearing, which I didn't mind. It's really not that cold, and it's very lush and pretty. Lots of rain, though. Lots of rain. Kind of depressing. Sometimes you wanted to just stab yourself right in the trachea. But then you had coffee and put on a raincoat and just cried a little and had a half pint of whiskey.
But at least the tears don't show up in the rain.
Right.
Cry when it's raining, it's all the same.
I feel like you and I should just lean in and say, the tears don't show up in the rain. No, they don't, do they? Anyhow, it was great, you know, for me to go from such a cold, freezing town where everyone's like, you want a hoagie and a gallon of beer, to like, oh, I'm home again with my friends and family. It was great. And the Lucifer cast and crew was great. So it was blue skies, as they say.
This question's for Lesley. If you had the opportunity, where would you like to see the character of Maze go? Like, would you like to see her go a bit darker?
Yeah. I mean, listen, it's a character, you know, we've seen a lot of, like, badass characters on TV, and it's very easy to play or to write those characters very one note. And I think what's been great with my character is, yes, in the frame, she is this tough, like, you know, strong female character, but I also got to explore real humanity and real human feelings, and that's been great. That being said, I don't think we really fully got to see her being Hal's torturer, and I think, you know, had we gotten a season 4, or if we get a season 4, I think as a general consensus, we'd all like the show to go a little darker, you know, and maybe lose a little bit of the police procedurally case of the week type stuff, you know, which we could maybe make that world even darker, you know. But I think that's probably where I'd like to see more of her half face, you know, see her really. I mean, I was like gagging to really torture someone, and like tar and feathers. I'm like, I want to see some nail pulling, and,
Wow.
you know, like some blood.
I mean, you know, you're Hell's torturer, so I would have liked to have seen more of that as well. Like, was you just kicking the Jesus out of somebody? Just giving them an old what's what, you know? More of that.
Over here. It's a bit cliche, and it's aimed at all of you, but if you're fans of Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit, and if you've seen both of them.
If we what, sorry?
Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit. If you're fans of both of them, and do you like them? Which
Well,
one?
you know, one of my best friends is Craig Parker. Yes. He, so I am a fan of Lord of the Rings. And it's really funny when I've done conventions with Craig, it's like seeing all the lot fans like come out. Still, all these years later, it's pretty amazing. I mean, such epic movies, you know, and what an amazing showcase for the country too. Like, beautiful New Zealand scenery. I think so many people abroad fell in love with New Zealand because of those movies. So yeah.
Yes, a fan.
I mean, there's seminal moments in movie making. What they managed to do with those 3 movies, I mean, they will forever be classics. I think it's difficult for anybody to say that they can't be fans of a world that's been created with such detail and such love and such passion. And all of the characters from the book to the screen, you can still identify them and love them and still feel the same passion for them that you do in the books. Because obviously I read them first, and then it's very rare as somebody who loves books that I am not disappointed. And Peter Jackson did not disappoint in any way with those 3 movies. I mean, they're a little long, guys. But they are the perfect Christmas movie. I'm hungover and I'm like, just wash over me. Hell's Gate happened. It's amazing. You know, so yes, it's very hard not to be a fan of such amazing films.
I'm going to stand up so you can see me. Maybe a little
Excellent,
easier.
thank you so much.
You mentioned crossovers earlier. If you could take the character you're playing just now and put them into any other TV show, what TV show would it be?
Ooh, that's good.
Handmaid's Tale.
You do your torturing?
Amazing. Would I give those?
You know what scene I'm picturing when they... that maze there? Does anyone know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, probably that show. Because I'd like to torture a few. That freaking, what's the woman?
I'd like to torture the mom.
The mother of all the handmaids.
She's so good.
I mean, she's such an amazing actress. I just want to...
She reminds me of Nurse Ratched from Cuckoo's Nest.
I want to shank her. Really badly.
Listen, you.
That's what I do.
It's so clear why I didn't get the role of Maze. You get over here, you. Please, I'm Hell's torture. You stop it. No, Lauren, we'll call you. Don't call her. Okay. Where would Chloe? I'm like, what world would Chloe go into? I might take a pass on this one. Yeah, sorry, babe.
I would like Lena to have chats with President Bartlett on the West Wing. Ooh. I feel like that would be a good... actually, just anybody in the West Wing, I think that would be hilarious to watch.
Amazing.
We've got time for one more question.
The pressure, this better be good.
Lauren, take it.
I'm having a panic attack.
Oh,
right here.
It's okay, I'm completely
What's wrong with me?
Could the two of you try doing Kiwi accents for us, please?
Hello? Are you there?
I'll help you. I'll get you on us too.
Hello? Are you there? Are you there? Hello? What? Yeah, are you there? Yeah, I'm here. Hello? What are you doing? Where are you? I'm in New Zealand. No, I'm not. Duh, so am I. Guys, I'm going to stop you right because I can't even do an Irish accent.
I'm up on Mount Mananawa, and currently I'm in Toronto. I live here, so I know that you don't pronounce the G. Duh. You hung up, right? Let's know.
And on that slightly offensive note, you were doing so well until she hung up. Tauranga, it has been amazing and an absolute privilege to have these powerful women on stage. Please, put your hands together.
Thank you guys. You've been lovely.
Amazing. Now up here goes.
Okay. Wow. Sometimes it's good as an MC, he knows